here we are, ladies and gentlemen, this time in Armored Warfare's LAV-150. A lovely little scout slash light attack vehicle with about 12mm worth of armour on all points of the hull and cockpit. It'll hit about 32 km per hour in 3.53 seconds with a maximum in-game speed of about 67 km per hour. It was developed in 1964 for the export market as an amphibious vehicle with run-flat tyres and self-cleaning treads on said tyres. The hull is all welded and was built to resist small arms fire, overhead blasts, shell splinters and, of course, Molotov cocktails. Now, here we are in another PvE mission. I'm advancing down the southern flank of the map to try and get some height and thereby allow me to spy on the enemy team and so light them up for the rest of my team, as it were. Now, of course, in this match, I am the only light tank on our side, so I'm going to have to tread it a little bit lightly in terms of drawing enemy attention to myself, because I am the eyes of the team. Of course, we all get a little bit of bloodlust the moment we see our enemy tank's side armour. Now, here I am poking my head around the corner, advancing north, or well, east, to see if I can support my friends, because they are absolutely... Oh, hello, we've got a new customer for our 20mm serving of pain. It is a PT-76, so this gun will not have any issues piercing his side armour. However, considering the PT-76 76mm gun, he has not had any trouble piercing my armour. So that is definitely something you're going to have to keep in mind in this tank, because unlike the PT-76, your damage is done over time rather than in a quick pop-out how's your father sort of fashion. Now, of course, in this vehicle you do have the ability to laze targets for your friends. However, I didn't quite know about it at the time of recording, so I'm making use of it through just lighting them up on the radio rather than allowing that extra damage bonus to occur. Although, as you will see later, spoiler alert, we manage alright without it. Now, I'm struggling a little with that Chaffee, although I do manage to put him out of his misery, and there I am clearing the last few rounds with this gun. Now, with guns with this sort of a magazine system, I really do recommend when you're down to the last few rounds, clearing your magazine. That way, should you run into anyone else, you will have a full magazine worth of ammunition to spend on them, rather than a few rounds and then all of a sudden going, excuse me, could you give me a moment? I just need to reload. Shouldn't take too long. Now, of course, there I am getting so bedazzled and stunned by that dead tank, I crash into it repeatedly. Now, this wasn't quite the best position for me, but you do really get a sense of just how mobile, another hit, this little vehicle is. Although not quite mobile to get up that hill, but we can manage with that in the meantime. So, one other thing coming to this vehicle from the Green Dragon is you're going to have to get used to actual wheels instead of tracks. Which I can tell you this much from experience, that really did take a bit of getting used to, because you are no longer able to pirouette neatly on the spot. Now, here we are charging down into the Valley of Death at our maximum speed, and I'm so glad that the ice didn't crack beneath me. I take out the recon truck and think about assisting with another one. And there goes yet another. Now, this vehicle, its mobility is good, its speed is good, it's just getting used to the fact that it is a wheeled vehicle, which will be the main obstacle for players new to this sort of vehicle. Up against most of the tanks you're fighting, light tanks this gun will not have any issues with, medium tanks shouldn't, depending on where you're hitting them. Heavy tanks, your main utility there is going to be in spotting them for your team, rather than actually being able to do damage in and of yourself, or in and of your own rather. Though here I am able to get some shots down onto the top of this tank's hull arm, although his turret is understandably the biggest target, and I am doing some damage thereby. So this has gone fairly well for us. None of us have been knocked out quite yet, which is always a good sign. And we have yet another customer sighted down in the valley. It's a T-54. Can't really score many good penetrating hits on that turret of his, which is a slight concern, but he is taken out in the end through being lit up. And here we encounter two enemies of the LAV-150, heavy tanks and bridges. I hope you enjoyed today's video. This is Cowardly Hames signing off.